this section, you will modify the existing levels in the project file. In this section, you will modify the existing levels in the project file. To do so, we need to select an elevation view from the project browser and then use Level 2. Before modifying the levels, move the cursor to the project browser and expand the structural head. Elevations, building elevations node. Now, double-click on the north node. You can see here the current view is changed to the north elevation view. Next, zoom in the drawing area to make the text on the level lines visible. Then, click on the level 1 level line and move the cursor over the text level 1. The text is highlighted. Then, click on the text and edit box is displayed. Then, enter the video grade in the edit box and press enter. See, here the confirm level rename message box is displayed. This message box prompts you to confirm whether or not to rename the corresponding view of the selected level. Then choose Yes button. The name of the level changes in the project browser. Also, notice that the name of the view corresponding to the changed level has been changed under the structural landscape in the project browser. Next, move the cursor over the elevation value of the below grade level. The elevation value is highlighted. Click on the highlighted elevation value. An edit box is displayed. Then, enter -4 feet in the edit box and press enter. Then press Escape to exit from the modification controls. Then repeat the procedure to rename the level to level. Then repeat the procedure to rename the level to level to entry and modify its elevation as 0 feet 0 inch. Next, right-click in the drawing area. A shortcut menu is displayed on the screen. After that, choose the Zoom to Fit option. You can see here the extents of the level lines are displayed in the drawing area. Next, select the below grade level line and then place the cursor over the length control displayed on the left. Then, press the left mouse button and drag the mouse to the right. You can see here the level lines moves along with the cursor. Next, click in the drawing area when the length of the level lines reduces to the half of their existing length. Then, press Escape to exit from the edit controls. Next, right-click in the drawing area and choose Zoom to Fit option from the shortcut menu. You can see here current view fits the extent of the length of level lines. Then the next section of this tutorial is adding new levels. In this section, you will add new levels to the project file using the level tool. To do so, go to the Structure tab, click on it, and choose Level Tool from bottom panel. You can see here the Modify Placed Level Contexture tab is displayed. Then choose the Plan View Types button from the options bar. See, here the Plan View Types dialog box is displayed. In this dialog box, click and deselect the floor plan and ceiling plan, and then choose OK button. After that, move the cursor near the left endpoint of the entry level line and type value 12 feet 6 inches in the edit box displayed when the alignment line appears. Then press enter. Next, move the cursor toward right until the alignment line appears above the entry level bubble, and then click to complete the level line. You can see here the new level line is created, displaying the level name as level 3 and the elevation as 12 feet 6 inches. Then, without exiting the level tool, repeat the steps to create the level line with the name level 4 at the distance from the level 3 level line as 12 feet 6 inches. Note that the elevation of level 4 level line is displayed as 25 feet. Then press Escape twice to exit from the tool. After that, select the level 3 level line. You can see here the properties of the selected level lines are displayed in the Properties palette. In the Properties palette, click in the value field corresponding to the name parameter and replace the existing name level 3 with second floor. Then choose Apply button. The Confirm Level Rename message box is displayed. In this message box, choose Yes button. See, here the name of the level line level 3 changes to the second floor. Also notice that the name of the corresponding view in the project browser has changed to the new name. Next, to rename the level 4 level view, select it from the drawing area. The properties of the selected level are displayed in the Properties palette. Then, repeat steps to rename level 4 to roof. Then, Choose the Level 1 Analytical option from the Structural Plan area and choose the Delete button from the displayed shortcut menu. The selected view name is deleted from the project browser. Then, repeat steps to delete the Level 2 Analytical option from the Structural Plan area. Then your next section, that is adding grid lines. In this section, you will add grids to the structural project. To add grids, we need to change the current view to the entry-level structural plan and then use the grid tool. To do so, double-click on the entry node in the structural plan seed of project browser. You can see here the entry structural plan view is displayed on the drawing area. Then remove the grid tool from the data panel. You can see here the Modify Place Grid contextual tab is displayed. In this tab, ensure that the line tool is invoked from the draw panel. Next, move the cursor toward the lower left corner of the drawing area and then click when the specified. Next, move the cursor toward the lower left corner of the drawing area and then click to specify the start point of the first grid line. You can see here the grid line with the temporary dimensions for angle emerges. Then move the cursor vertically up at an angle of 90 degrees from the horizontal plane and click when it reaches near the north elevation arrow. Now move the cursor downward and position it near the right side of the endpoint of the grid line created previously. As you move the cursor toward right, a temporary dimension appears with an extension line and the extension snap. Then, enter the value as 10 feet and press enter. The second grid line starts at the distance of the entered value from the start point of the first grid line. Then, move the cursor vertically up and place it near the bubble of the first grid line and click when the alignment line appears. You can see here the second grid line is created. Then, repeat steps to create 5 more vertical grids with the distances 10 feet, 4 feet, 11 feet, 9 feet 6 inches, and 5 feet. 10 feet, 10 feet, 4 feet, 11 feet, 9 feet 6 inches, and 5 feet. After creating all vertical grids, please escape twice to exit the grid tool. Then, select vertical grid line marked 4. Now, place the cursor over the text in the grid bubble of the selected grid line and click. An edit box is displayed. Then enter 3.1 in the edit box and press enter. You can see here the selected grid line is renamed. Then, without exiting the editing mode, select the next grid marked 5 and then move the cursor over its grid bubble and click to display the edit box. Then enter 4 in the edit box and press enter. See here the selected grid line is renamed. Then repeat steps to rename the grid lines marked 6 and 7 to 5 and 5.1 respectively. After renumering all required vertical grids displayed in the drawing area, press escape to exit the editing mode. Now we are going to add the horizontal grids. Again, invoke the grid tool from data panel. Next, move the cursor toward the top right of the vertical grid line marked 5.1 and click at the location. Then move the cursor horizontally toward the left and click it has crossed the vertical grid line marked 1. Click in the drawing area to create the first horizontal grid line. After that, move the cursor below the grid line alignment control of the start point of first horizontal grid line. You can see here an alignment line with the temporary dimension is displayed. Then type 8 feet in the edit box and press enter. See, here the second horizontal grid line will start below the start point of the first horizontal grid line at the distance of 8 feet. Then move the cursor horizontally toward left and place it below the grid bubble of the first grid line. Next, move the cursor horizontally toward left and place it below the grid bubble marked 5.2 of the first grid line and click when the alignment line appears. After that, repeat the steps to create the rest of the horizontal grid lines with the distances 4 feet, 4 feet, 1 feet 6 inches, 5 feet, 6 feet, 4 feet, 10 feet, 4 feet 6 inches, 2 feet 6 inches, 4 feet and 11 feet, and rename them as A, B, C, C1, C2, D, E, F, G, G1, G2, H, and I. Then the last section of this tutorial is saving the project. In this section, we are going to save the project by using the Save As tool. In this section, you will modify the existing level in the project file. To do so, you need to select an elevation view from the project browser and then use the level tool. Before modifying the levels, move the cursor to the project browser and then double-click on the South option under the Elevations Building Elevation head. You can see here the current view is changed to the South elevation view. Next, zoom in the drawing area to make the text on the level lines visible. After that, click on the level 1 level line and move the cursor on the text level 1. You can see here the text is highlighted. Then, click on the text. You can see here the edit box is displayed. Enter the foundation level in the edit box and press enter. You can see here the confirm level rename message box is displayed, prompting you to confirm whether or not to rename the corresponding view of the selected level. In the confirm level rename message box, choose yes button. The name of the level is changed. Also notice that the name of the view corresponding to the level changes in the structural plans here of the project browser. Next, move the cursor over the elevation value of the foundation level. See, here the elevation value gets highlighted. After that, click on the highlighted elevation value. An edit box is displayed. In this edit box, enter the value -6 feet, 0 inches, and then press enter. After that, press escape to exit from the modification. Then, repeat the steps to rename the level 2 to entry level and modify its elevation as 0 feet 0 inches. Next, right-click in the drawing area. The shortcut menu is displayed. After that, choose the Zoom to Fit option from the shortcut menu. The extent of the level lines are displayed in the drawing area. Next, select the foundation level line and place the cursor over the grid length control displayed on the left side. Then press and hold the left mouse button and drag the mouse to the right. You can see here the level lines moves along the cursor. After that, click in the drawing area when the length of the level lines reduces to almost half of its existing length. Next, press Escape to exit from the edit controls. After that, right-click in the drawing area and then choose the Zoom to Fill option from the shortcut menu. The current view fills the extent of the length of the level lines. Just before you learn how to modify the existing levels, now you will learn to add new levels. In this section, you will add 2 levels to the project file using the Level tool. To do so, invoke the Level tool from Datum panel of Structure tab. First of all, clear the Make Plan View checkbox in the Options bar, and then move the cursor near the left endpoint of the foundation level line. And when the alignment line appears, enter the value 6 inches and press enter. Next, move the cursor toward right until the alignment line appears above and across the foundation level buffer. Next, click to complete the level line. And you can see here, it displays the level name as level 3 and the elevation -5 feet 6 inches. Then, without exiting the level tool, select the Make Plan View checkbox in the options bar. After that, choose the Plan View Types button from the options bar. You can see here the Plan View Types dialog box is displayed. In this dialog box, click and deselect the ceiling plan and floor plan, and then choose the OK button. The dialog box is closed. After that, move the cursor above the left endpoint of the entry level line. And when the alignment line appears, enter the value as 10 feet and press enter. Then, move the cursor toward right until the alignment line appears above the entry level bubble, and then click to complete the level line. See, here the new level line is created. This level line displays the level name as level 4 and the elevation 10 feet 0 inches. Next, repeat steps to create level lines with the default name level 5 at the distance of 14 feet from level 4. Note that the elevation of level 5 level line is displayed at 24 feet. Next, press Escape twice to exit the level tool. Now, the next section is adding grid lines. In this section, you will add grids to the project by using Grid tool. For this, make Infrastructural Plan view as a current view. To do so, double-click on the entry in the Structural Plans head from Project Browser. The Infrastructural Plan view is displayed in the drawing area. Then, invoke the Grid tool from Datum panel of Structure tab. You can see here the Modify Place Grid contextual tab is displayed. In this tab, ensure that the Line tool is invoked from the list box in the Draw panel. Then, move the cursor toward the lower end corner of the drawing area. After that, move the cursor horizontally to the right and click when it reaches point below the east elevation arrow. Next, right-click in the drawing area. A shortcut menu is displayed. Choose the Endpoint option under the Snap Overrides drop-down from Shortcut menu. Then, move the cursor near the left endpoint of the first grid and place the cursor on it until it is highlighted. Next, click as the endpoint snap appears and the first grid line is highlighted. You can see here a grid line appears that displays a temporary dimension of its angle measured from the horizontal axis. Next, move the cursor toward right and above the grid bubble of the grid line created earlier. Then, click when the temporary angular dimension displays 15 degrees. Then, repeat steps to create the remaining 5 grid lines that emerge from the start point of the first grid line. The temporary dimensions that you will consider to create the 5 ideal grids are 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 75 degree, and 90 degree. After that, press Escape twice to exit the grid tool. Then, right-click in the drawing area and choose the Zoom to Fit option in the shortcut menu. Now, invoke the Grid tool from Datum panel of Structure tab. Then choose the Center Ends Arc tool from the Draw panel of Modify Place Grid contextual tab. Now, move the cursor toward the start point of the first grid line and click when the endpoint snaps appear. A circle appears with the temporary dimensions denoting its radius and the start angle of the arc with the first grid line. Then, move the cursor vertically upward along with the last grid line created and enter 30 degree and press enter when the angular temporary dimension displays 90 degree. Then, move the cursor clockwise until it is placed below the first grid line and click when the first alignment line with the extension snap emerges from the start point of the first grid line. Now, repeat steps to create curved grid line with the radial distance of 50 feet from the start point of the first grid line. Next, press Escape to exit the grid tool. Then again invoke the grid tool. Then use the line tool from the list box in the Draw panel of the Modify Place Grid contextual tab to create 2 horizontal grids with distance of 20 feet and 26 feet with respect to grid 8 and grid 9 respectively, and the vertical grids with the distance of 20 feet each. Now I'm going to create the horizontal grids and then create the vertical grids. Then press Escape to exit the grid tool. Then the next section is resizing the grid lines. In this section, you will resize the grids using the drag controls. To do so, select the first grid line of the project and then move the cursor toward its endpoint near the grid bubble. Now, press and drag the cursor toward the left and release the mouse when the cursor along with the grid endpoint reaches to the location. Then press Escape to exit from the editing mode. After that, select the other grids individually and repeat steps to resize all the grids in the project wheel. Now, the next section that we are going to see is renaming grids. In this section, you will rename all the grids created in the previous section. To do so, select the curve grid and move the cursor over the grid bubbles of selected grid and click. An edit box is displayed on the screen and enter A apostrophe in the displayed edit box and press enter. The selected curve grid is renamed and then press Escape to exit the editing mode. Then repeat the step to rename the another curve grid with the name B apostrophes and press enter. By repeating the same steps, rename the horizontal grids with the name A, B, and C. And press enter. And vertical grids with the name 8 and 9. Press enter and press escape to exit the editing mode. The selected project file opens in the drawing window in the entry structural plan view. Next, we are going to create a structural column type. In this section, you will create a concrete rectangular column type to add to the project view. To do so, choose the column tool from structure panel of structure tab. We can see here the modified place structural column contextual tab is displayed. After that, go to the Properties palette and select the specified option from the Type Selector drop-down list. Select 12 inches by 18 inches concrete rectangular column size. Then choose the Edit Type button. You can see here the Type Properties dialog box is displayed. In this dialog box, choose the Duplicate button. See, the Name dialog box is displayed here. In this name dialog box, enter the value as 12 inches by 24 inches. And then choose OK button. The name dialog box is closed. After that, in the Type Properties dialog box, click the value corresponding to the edge parameter. The existing value 1 feet 6 inches is highlighted. Then replace the existing value with 2 feet 0 inches and then choose the OK button. The Type Properties dialog box closes and the preview of the new column type attached with the cursor is displayed in the drawing area. The next section is adding structural columns. In this section, we are going to add structural columns to the model. To do so, right-click in the drawing area and choose Zoom in Region option from the shortcut menu. You can see here the cursor gets modified into zoom icon. After that, move the cursor and place it between the grid lines marked 1 and 8. Click at an appropriate location. You can see here the rectangular selection window appears. Then move the cursor downward to the right and click between the grid lines marked 5.1 and C2. On doing so, the project view zooms in so that the columns can easily be added at the desired location. Then select the Rotate After Placement checkbox in the options bar and choose the Hide option from the first drop-down list next to it. Then ensure that the Rule Bounding checkbox is selected in the options bar. After that, place the cursor at the intersection of grid 1 and grid 8. The grid 1 and grid 8 are highlighted. Then click when both grids are still highlighted. Preview of the column with its center aligned to the intersection of grid 1 and grid 8 is displayed. Then move the cursor upward to the right. The rotation alignment line appears with a temporary angular dimension. After that, type 90. You can see here an edit box with type value is displayed near the temporary dimension. Then press enter. A column is inserted at the intersection of grid 1 and grid 8. Next, repeat the steps to insert other columns of the same type and alignment at the different grid intersections. Do not exit the column tool even though you have inserted all columns at the different grid intersections. After inserting all the columns, choose the Add Grids tool from multiple panel of the Modified Place Structural Column contextual tab. You can see here the Modified Place Structural Column and Grid Intersection contextual tab is displayed. After that, place the cursor on grid E and click where the grid is highlighted. The grid B is selected. Then press and hold the Control key and click on grid 4, grid 5 and grid G1 to select them. After that, place the cursor on grid B and click when the grid is highlighted. The grid B is selected. Next, press and hold the Control key and click on the grid 4, grid 5 and grid G1 to select them. You can see here the columns are inserted at the grid intersections of the selected grid. Now, choose the Finish button from the multiple panel of the Modify Place Structural Column and Grid Intersection tab. After choosing the Finish button, see here the Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab is displayed. Then choose the Modify button from Select panel in the Modify Place Structural Column Contextual tab. Now we are going to see the next section, that is modifying the height of columns. In this section, to adjust the thickness of slab in the structural model, you will modify the height of inserted columns by adjusting their top offset distances. To do so, place the cursor between grid A and grid 1. Next, place and hold the left mouse button and then drag the cursor downward toward the right along the selection window until it is placed at the location. After that, release the mouse button and click. You can see here all the columns inside the selection window are selected and the Modify Structural Columns Contexture tab is displayed. Then, in the Properties palette of the selected column, click in the value field corresponding to the top offset instance parameter. Clear the existing value and then enter -1 feet. After that, choose the Apply button in the Properties palette and then Modify button in the Select panel on the Modify Structural Column tab. Now, select all the columns using the selection window as done before. In the Properties palette of the selected column, select Entry option for the base level and second floor for the top level. Then choose Apply button. The height of the columns is set between the entry and second floor levels. Then, the next section is adding structural walls. In this section, you create a structural wall type and add it to the project view. To add structural walls, choose the Wall Structural tool from Wall drop-down in the Structure panel of Structure tab. You can see here the Modify Place Structural Wall Contextual tab is displayed. In the Properties palette, select the desired option from the Type Selector drop-down list. Here, I am going to select Exterior 8 inches concrete option from the Type Selector drop-down list. Now, choose the Edit Type button. You can see here the Type Properties dialog box is displayed. In this Type Properties dialog box, choose the Duplicate button. After choosing the Duplicate button, you can see here Name dialog box is displayed. In the Name Edit box of Name dialog box, type Core Sharp 12 inches concrete and choose OK button. The name dialog box is closed. After that, in the Type Properties dialog box, choose the Edit button displayed in the value column of the structure parameter. See, here the Edit Assembly dialog box is displayed. In the Layers area of the Edit Assembly dialog box, click in the Edit box in the thickness column corresponding to the Structure 1 function and enter 12 inches. Next, press Enter to replace the existing value. Then choose the OK button. See here, the Edit Assembly dialog box closes and the Type Properties dialog box is displayed. In the Type Properties dialog box, select Shaft Covert options from the drop-down list corresponding to the function parameter from the construction area and then choose OK button. The Type Properties dialog box is closed. Next, in the options bar, select the height option from the first drop-down list. You can see here the warning message box appears at the bottom of the screen. Close the message box. After that, select the second floor option from the second drop-down list in the options bar and then clear the Change checkbox. Then zoom in the drawing and move the cursor toward the column at the intersection of grid 4 and grid B. Then place the cursor of the right face of the column. Click when the right face is highlighted and the midpoint snap is displayed. After that, move the cursor horizontally toward the right and place it at the midpoint of the left face of the column located at the intersection of grid 5 and grid B. Click when the midpoint and horizontal snap appears. Then move the cursor and place it at the lower face of the column located at the intersection of grid 5 and grid B. Click when the midpoint snap appears. After that, move the cursor vertically down and place it at the upper face of the column and the intersection of grid 5 and grid D. Click when the midpoint and vertical snap appears. Then place the cursor at the lower face of the column at the intersection of grid 5 and grid D. Click when the lower face is highlighted and the midpoint snap appears. After that, move the cursor vertically downward and place it at the upper face of the column located at the intersection of the grid 5 and grid E. 3. When the midpoint and vertical snap appears at the intersection point. Then repeat the method of adding structural wall as done before. Then choose the Modify button from select panel of Modify Place Structure Wall. After that, select the wall placed on grid B and then right-click. A shortcut menu is displayed. Then choose the Visible in View from the Select All Instances drop-down list. See, here all walls in the project view will be highlighted. Then, in the Properties panel, enter -2 feet in the top offset edit box and choose Apply button. Now, the next section is creating a structural column type. In this section, you will create a concrete rectangular column type and add it to the structural model. Before creating a structural column type, ensure that the Entry Structural Plan view is open as the current view. Then choose the column tool from the Structure panel of Structure tab. You can see here the Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab is displayed. Next, choose the Load Family tool from the Mode panel of Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab. You can see here the Load Family dialog box is displayed. In this dialog box, click on the Up One Level button next to the Blueprint drop-down list until the English Imperial folder is displayed. Then select the English Imperial folder and click on it. Then choose the Structural Column folder and click on it. Then choose Concrete folder. Then select the Concrete Square column and choose the Open button from Load Family dialog box. After that, in the Properties palette, select Concrete Square column 24 by 24 from the Type Selector drop-down list. Now we are going to see the next section, that is adding structural columns. In this section, you will add new and existing structural column types to the project. To do so, select the height option from the first drop-down list on the left in the options bar and ensure that the second floor option is selected in the other drop-down list. Then choose Add Grids tool from multiple panel of Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab. You can see here the Modify Place Structural Column Add Grid Intersection contextual tab is displayed. Then place the cursor over grid C and click when it is highlighted. Grid C is selected. Next, press and hold the Control key and click over the grid A, grid B, grid 8, and grid 9. The columns are inserted at the intersections of the selected grids. Then choose the Finish button from multiple panel. You can see here the Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab is displayed. Then, in the Properties palette, select the Blue Shapes column, the blue 10 by 33 option from the Type Selector drop-down list. Then choose Add Grids tool from multiple panel of Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab. See, here the Modify Place Structural Column Add Grid Intersection contextual tab is displayed again. Then move the cursor and place it on the circular grid A apostrophe and click when it is highlighted. Grid A apostrophe is selected. After that, press and hold the Control key and click over the circular grid B apostrophe, grid 1, grid 2, grid 3, grid 4, grid 5, and grid 6 to select them. You can see here the columns are inserted at the intersections of the selected grids. Then choose the Finish button from multiple panel. Again, the Modify Place Structural Column contextual tab is displayed. Then choose the Modify button from Select panel. You can notice here that the column is added at the intersection of all grid lines. Then select the column at the intersection of all grids and delete it to remove from the model. Now, the next section is modifying the height of columns. In this section, you will modify the height of the inserted square concrete columns by adjusting their base level parameter. To do so, select all the concrete square columns 24 by 24 type concrete columns from the drawing. On selecting all the square concrete columns, you can see here the Modify Structural Columns contextual tab is displayed. Then, in the Properties palette of the selected column, click in the value field corresponding to the base level instance parameter and select the TOS level from the drop-down list displayed. Then choose the Apply button, and after that, choose the Modify button from Select tab of Modify Structural Column contextual tab.